Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Lemming Lacquer. In today's video we have a bee's knees lacquer haul, and it's somewhat bittersweet as this will be my second to last official haul directly from the brand, as they are launching their final release in just a few weeks here in November 2022. So that is going to be a bummer. My wallet won't be that sad, but I definitely will miss them. So this haul is mainly from the What We Do in the Shadows 3 collection. That is the entire top row here, and I didn't even get the entire collection. Then I bought a few that were group exclusives and a couple that were restocked for this launch. I did also get 2 beauty products, and for this haul I did pull about 3 polishes to compare to some of these in case you guys were wondering how they compared if you were trying to plan your shopping list for this upcoming November launch. Alright, oh, and we do have, I should also say, we do have one gift with purchase that I'll share at the end. Spoiler warnings will be included. I did place 2 orders, but I ended up getting 2 of the same gift with purchase polish, so we'll go over that one in the end. Let's go ahead and start with the beauty products. This is a new to me product. This is their bath teas, and I've never seen anything like this. I've used a lot of bath bombs, but nothing ever quite like this, and it's really unique. It is sprinkleable, or you can use the little reusable organza bags that they send as like a bath tea bag. So this has coarse Epsom salts, medium pink sea salts, baking soda, citric acid, and fragrance. There's also like dried flowers or something in this one that you can sort of see among the salts and other ingredients. This one has a really interesting smell to it. I tried to look up the scent notes so that I could share them with you guys, but they currently have the website down, or at least it was while before I filmed this. So I wasn't able to pull scent notes from this, but it's really interesting. It's sweet, almost like a melon or a candy, and it's oddly familiar, but I just can't place it. Yeah, I'm being very unhelpful with the scent notes on this one, but you do get a lot of product in here. I mean, this should be a good 3 to 4 baths, depending on how much you use in each. They do give you 4 organza bags to use, and like I said, the smell is very interesting. I'll have to check out the scent description for this once their website is back up and see if I can't figure out why this smells familiar. But that was PPC. I think I didn't say that before. This is PPC in their bath teas. Then I got another one of their tinted lip balms. This one is scented in Roll for Initiative, and this one has jojoba oil, coconut oil, candelia wax, vitamin E, and flavors. There's also a little bit of mica in this. I think this one is a light red shimmer. So it is going to be subtle, but you'll get a little bit of that pink. No, gold. Did I see red? Yeah, so actually what I'm mainly seeing is gold, but there is a red and a pink, like a reddish pink shimmer shift to this as well. So really interesting. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that at all on my skin. There you go, see that shimmer? So it's going to be pretty subtle, and this one smells like cocoa butter. It smells really, really good. So that was Roll for Initiative. All right, so now on to the polishes that I got from the What We Do in the Shadows collection. That is the top row. The first one is Darth Small, and this is a beautiful shade of like somewhere in between a rosy pink and a light red, and this has that lion with a thorn in its paw formulation. I believe these were sibling polishes, and the ones coming up in the upcoming release for November are lion cousins, I think is the terminology that they're using. So this one is absolutely gorgeous. I think these are all going to be freaking my camera out because of all of the beautiful shifting shimmer and the hollow sparkle. But this one has such an intense glow from that shimmer. And of course you have all of that sparkle from the hollow flakies. This is in 2 coats. I think this looks absolutely gorgeous on the nail. It almost comes across as like a deepened rose gold that leans very much into pink. Because of all of the shimmer and the hollow in here, it does lean towards the metallic side of things. It's really, really gorgeous. This one I believe was described as a red, but I would definitely put this in closer to the pink side of things as far as on the color wheel. And I really, really like how this turned out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So that first one was Darth Small. The next one was a beautiful vampy shade. This one is called Familia S Familia, and this was an absolute must-have for this month. It is this gorgeous deep shade. I would almost describe this base as like a deep oxblood, and then against this base, and yes, it is continuing to freak my camera out. Try zooming out and see if that helps. This shimmer and sparkle on this keeps freaking my camera out, so apologies on if it goes out of focus, but look how intense that shifting shimmer is against this darker base. And then of course you have those flakies twinkling away beautifully against this deeper base. Absolutely gorgeous. This is it in 2 coats. This comes across looking somewhere between a burgundy and a deep, very deep purple on the nail. I absolutely love this one. This is probably going directly on my fall to winter rack. It is simply stunning. The combination of those shimmers against this deeper base and of course those flakies has my heart. This is absolutely beautiful. And I gotta say that the formulation on these Lion sibling polishes are beautiful in 2 coats. So that was Familia is Familia, one of my favorites. The next one is a very dark purple. This one is called It Is My Punishment. And this is another one where I feel that that shimmer really bounces off of that base beautifully. You get all of those intense shifts. You've got red, green, gold, bronze, orange. I believe the shimmer is the same across the board for all of these. And it's really interesting to see how similar they can be, but how different they come across in each base. I mean, look how intense that is. Absolutely jaw-dropping. And then you, of course, have those shattered or flaky hollows in here, and it's really, really beautiful. I'm going to be repeating myself even more than usual, I feel like, on this collection. This is it in just 2 coats, and look how dark and vampy that is, and nice and opaque in just 2 coats. This one is just, I keep saying it, but it's simply gorgeous. So another favorite, I'm going to have a lot of favorites in this one. This is It Is My Punishment. The next one is a lighter but still dark purple, and this one is called You Can Bury Your Own Nuts. And this one is another jaw-dropping polish. The intense vibrancy of this shade of purple with that intense glow. Just wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. Someone did mention the similarity between this one and Kathleen and Company Ghost Manor, so we will be comparing those here in a minute. But I had to get this one from Bee's Knees because Ghost Manor from Kathleen and Company has made it onto my favorites that I've worn for this year. So I had to see what Bee's Knees would come up with. I knew they would impress, and they definitely did. This is it in 2 coats. And just look how incredibly juicy this one is. This tone of purple is amazing. I again love the combination of that gorgeous shifting shimmer in this darker base and with those hollow flakies. This one is going to be another favorite for sure. And let's go ahead and see how it compares, just to see if we have a dupe to the one from Kathleen and Company. So here we have You Can Bury Your Own Nuts next to Kathleen and Company's Ghost Manor. And they definitely have a similar vibe and ingredient list. You have that very, very juicy purple base loaded with an intense red shifting shimmer. You also have the shattered holographic flakies in there. So here on the bottom, we have the one from Bee's Knees Lacquer. And on the top, we have the one from Kathleen and Company. And in my opinion, they are incredibly similar, but not straight up dupes. They definitely give a very similar vibe on the nail though, so it's up to you on if you need both in your collection, but I actually like them for different reasons. The one from Kathleen and Company, like I said, has made it to my favorites list, but it actually is sheerer than the one from Bee's Knees. So Bee's Knees Lacquer was opaque for me in 2 coats. I did end up needing 3 coats on the swatch wheels with the Kathleen and Company to reach mostly full opacity. So that's just something to keep in mind. When I wore Ghost Manor though, I didn't necessarily notice any sheer issues on my own nails. So again, just It depends on how you apply it on your own nails and whatnot, but they do have very, very similar vibes. I want to say that the scattered holographic is a little bit different in Bee's Knees as well. You've got a slightly different particle, and it's a little bit more opaque in the Bee's Knees. But again, that shifting shimmer is very, very similar on these. And of course, that juicy, juicy tone of purple is nearly spot on. So there you go. So that one was You Can Bury Your Own Nuts. The next one is a beautiful dark blue. This one is called My Sweet Cheese, and this was another must-have for this month. There were quite a number of them, as you can see. This one has a beautiful deep midnight sky blue at the base, and then you have that intense, vibrant shimmer against that darker base, and then more of those amazing holographic flakies. I am really, really glad that she was able to give us a bunch of these polishes because I am definitely a fan of the Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw formula. This one definitely makes a beautiful addition to the rainbow of these polishes that I now have in my collection. And on this one, the color is really, really stunning, very, very deep. Here it is in 2 coats. You get that vibrant night sky blue on your nails. I want to say on this one, at least in my studio lighting here, the shimmer isn't as glowy. Of course, that could be because of my top coat, or it just could be how it plays with the dark blue base, but it is still an absolutely gorgeous polish. And again, I absolutely cannot get enough of those holographic flakies. But I can't wait to wear this one out because I have seen a lot of people post their swatch pictures in the Facebook group, and everyone seems to absolutely love this out in natural lighting. So another beautiful one. And another one that I do have a comparison for. So the one that I pulled to do a comparison of is another famous polish from Polish Pickup, and this one is Tartarus, also from Bee's Knees Lacquer. Now these I wouldn't say are dupes, they are a similar deep blue, but the new one, My Sweet Cheese, is a deeper shade, whereas the one from Tartarus is a pinch lighter. Also, the shimmer in it is different. You have that intense red shift in My Sweet Cheese, whereas Tartarus has more of like a pink to green shift. And of course, you have those beautiful flakies in both. I want to say those are slightly different as well. Yeah, they do appear to be a slightly different component. Yeah, they almost appear blue in Tartarus. You can definitely see the difference here on the swatch wheels. You have My Sweet Cheese up there at the top, Tartarus on the bottom. And you can see that Tartarus is that lighter shade of blue by comparison. There's definitely a deep vibrancy to My Sweet Cheese. And hopefully you can see what I'm talking about as far as those flakies. In Tartarus, they almost come across as like a teal, like a aqua teal. And then in My Sweet Cheese, they seem slightly smaller and denser in that base. So again, that was My Sweet Cheese and Tartarus. So that last one was My Sweet Cheese. Next up, we have the beautiful teal. This one is called I Want to Peel You Like a Potato. I have not watched the show that this collection is based on, but the names continue to crack me up. This one is a really beautiful deep teal. It is of course the same formula as the other ones we've been discussing. So you have that same gorgeous shifting shimmer that is very, very intense, along with those gorgeous shattered hollow flakies. I didn't have anything else quite like this in my collection, so I was very excited to see this one come out as a Lion sibling. I think this combination in this, again, deep dark base came across looking so, so gorgeous. Again, you have intense, vibrant shifts in those shimmers in this darker base. This is it in 2 coats. You have that gorgeous oceany deep teal. And of course the holographic flakies. You hear me talk about those all the time. Probably ad nauseum at this point, but I cannot get enough of them. I think they look gorgeous in this color. And of course, the shimmer is beautiful in this one as well. I think the combination is another winner. If she was to continue to come out with a Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw siblings for 10 collections, I would love it. I would love to see all of the different variations she could come up with, but this is another really beautiful one. And that was I Want to Peel You Like a Potato. And then the last one that I got from that collection is kind of unusual for me. This one is called What Have the Dark Lord Wrought? And this is a very interesting polish. It is a very deep yellow leaning olive. As a lion sibling, you do have that intense shifting shimmer and those holographic shattered flakies. This is it in 2 coats, and as you can see, it's a very interesting color. I think this one is a beautiful fall polish. It is very interesting and incredibly unique to my collection. I don't often grab this kind of polish, but this one, because of the holographic flakies and the shimmer, really caught my attention. I also saw them swatched on Caitlin swatches, and it just looked really, really gorgeous. This one was definitely outside my wheelhouse, but I'm glad that I took a chance on it and got it. I think this one is going to look absolutely gorgeous on the nails. Very different from my usual, but very, very pretty. And I'm hoping that I will like it on as well. So that one was What Have the Dark Lord Wrought? Now we're getting into some of the group exclusive polishes. There were 3 of them released across 2 groups. The first 2 are from the Multichrome Madness group, and the third one is from the Shades of Cyan group. The first one from the Multichrome Madness is called He's Relentless in Love, and this is a really gorgeous fall toned polish. It is a multichrome base that shifts from this bronze to orange to green to gold. This one has a really beautiful, kind of larger particled multichrome. And again, you have such a gorgeous shift of these fall tones in there. This one I did do in 3 coats. I really like how this one turned out on the nail. You have all of those warm shifts in here, and I like that larger sized particle. You get a different look than you would if the particles were finely milled. I think this is a beautiful one for fall. So that first one from the Multichrome Madness group custom was He's Relentless in Love. The second group custom from Multichrome Madness was Marwa Deserved It Better, and this is our first reflective polish of the haul. This one is a really neat and unique combination. You've got kind of the same multichrome base as He's Relentless in Love, so you have those warmer fall notes that shift between like a bronze and different shades of orange, a little bit of green. But then in that same base, you have a blue reflective component that adds a really neat twist on this polish. I think the combination looks really beautiful. This is it in just 2 coats. This one does have a glitter smoother and then a top coat on top. This one should be fairly unique to my collection as well, although I do have some that have different reflective components with a similar shift. The first one is Skull and Bones. So that one has a similar shift in the multichrome base, although in Skull and Bones you have a, I think a silver reflective component instead of a blue. And they are different shifts, as you're seeing there. You've got like a different shade of bronze in Skull and Bones, and more of a red toned by comparison in Marwa Deserved Better. The second one that I have is called Turn Back. That one came out in, I believe, September. And this one does have a, again, similar multichrome base. And it also has reflective glitters, except in Turn Back, they are green. And again, you have a similar multichrome base, but they are different shifts. You have more of a deep orange in Turn Back, whereas in Marwa Deserves Better, by comparison, that shift is more red. So that second group custom from the Multichrome Madness group was Marwa Deserved Better. Now we're moving on to the group custom from the Shades of Cyan, and this is I'm a Hamster in a Wheel. And if I'm remembering correctly, I believe this is another lion with a thorn in its paw sibling, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is a beautiful shade of blue. You have that intense shifting shimmer, although this time I want to say it's not the same as we were seeing in the What We Do in the Shadows collection. Those were very intensely red leaning, whereas the one in I'm a Hamster in a Wheel is more shades of like fuchsia, purple, and blue. So maybe it's a cousin. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're calling this a cousin instead of a sibling. But in any case, you also do have those holographic flakies in here. It's another gorgeous combination, and I'm definitely glad that I grabbed this one. This is in 2 coats. I will say this one could have maybe used a third coat, so I'm going to put this one in the between 2 and 3 coats for full opacity, just depending on your application and nail length. But I absolutely love how many flaky she's stuffed in here. It is really jam-packed. Looks very, very beautiful on the nail. I also like the shifting shimmer in this one. You've got those shades of purples and blues. Looks really gorgeous against this base. And then just for funsies, we're going to do a comparison of this one to Tartarus. So here we've got I'm a Hamster in a Wheel on top with Tartarus on the bottom. So actually, I think where this new one falls is after Tartarus. So if we were, let's see, when we compared My Sweet Cheese was darker. And when we're comparing Tartarus to I'm a Hamster in a Wheel, Tartarus is darker. So they are in the same range as far as a color family, but I think you can see the difference in the shimmers there as well. There's an intensity to Tartarus, and you can also see the differences in those flakies. So our last group custom was I'm a Hamster in a Wheel. Now moving on to a couple of the polishes that I got that had been restocked for that launch. This is our second and our last reflective polish. This one is Nothing in This World is Freely Given. This one originally came out in the Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea collection. And I want to say there was an entire collection of these, sort of a matching tone-on-tone jelly with reflective glitters, and I didn't get any of those. I just wasn't feeling them when they were released, but I kept going back to this one, and I think you guys can guess why. It's this gorgeous tone of orange. This range of orange in these like sweet potatoes and dark oranges are definitely one of my favorite color groups, and I wanted to make sure to grab this while I still could. And this is definitely a beautiful formula. You've got this jelly base absolutely loaded with a reflective component. This one is, I want to say like 2 different kinds, because I'm also seeing a little bit of red in there. That could be the reflective glitter, or it's possible that there's another something in there. I'm actually not too sure, but I think you can see there you've got the twinkles of the reflective glitters catching the light, and then behind that there's a little bit of a red speckled look. This one I did do 3 coats on, but I mean, look how beautiful this tone of orange is. It's got a pinch of like a yellow, like a deep yellow brown in it. It's very, very unique to my collection, especially with the reflective glitters, but even just color-wise, it's a very unique shade of orange. So I'm very glad that I went ahead and got one while I could. It's a really beautiful shade. As a reflective polish, this one does have the glitter smoother top coat and then the glossy top coat on top. So that was Nothing in This World is Freely Given. Next up is this beautiful purple, and you guys might know what this one is. We're going to just cover part of the label because this one is Tell Them To Off. We're just going to play it that way. This one originally came out in the Radio Rentals collection, and I don't know if I skipped out on this one, or if it was limited when it was originally released and it sold out, or if I had maybe talked myself out of it because I had just got Dumacorn and I didn't feel like I needed it. I couldn't really tell you, but I decided to go ahead and grab it this time, and we actually will compare it to Dumacorn if anyone else is curious about how they compare. But this is a really beautiful tone of purple. You have an absolutely gorgeous shifting shimmer in here. You've got shades of green to blue that shift throughout. Look at how intense that green gets. Wow. Very, very, very pretty. This is it in 3 coats. This one definitely needs 3 coats for full opacity, although if you don't mind a sheer ethereal look, especially on shorter nails, you might be able to wear it in just 2. Of course, you can wear it however you like. You can also play around with this as a topper over different colors. And then let's go ahead and compare this one to Dumacorn. So we have Tell Them over on the left and Dumacorn on the right. They are different shades, although I feel like on camera they're going to come across as twins. But Tell Them is a cooler tone, whereas Dumacorn is more of a brighter shade of purple. That shifting shimmer, I want to say, is identical in them. So they are definitely in the same ballpark as far as a type of polish. If you already have Dumacorn and you're trying to whittle your list down, it's up to you whether you feel that this one is going to be a repetitive polish in your collection. So on the swatch wheel, I think you can definitely tell more of that difference. Tell Them is up there at the top, and Dumicorn is down there on the bottom. Hopefully you can see that brighter tone is popping because it's a warmer tone in Dumicorn. And then by comparison, you almost have more of a blue leaning tone to Tell Them. So very similar, but different. So that one was Tell Them. And then I did also grab this, which is not a polish, even though it's in a polish bottle. This one is their Spirit Base Coat. I had seen this come out a while ago and I just never attempted to grab it, so I thought I'd grab it on my second order, and I have yet to try this, so I can't really speak to how it performs or anything like that, but I'm excited to try it. It is a combination of a lot of different types of base coats, so if I'm remembering, you have a combination of like a nurturing base coat mixed in with a sticky base coat and a ridge filler. So there you go, that was my haul from Bee's Knees Lacquer for their What We Do in the Shadows 3 collection. Now we're going to go ahead and look at my gift with purchase, so spoiler warnings are in effect, starting now. Alright, the gift with purchase that I got is this shimmer called A Proper Jabroni. And this is a very soft ethereal polish. You have a very light purple base loaded with a larger shimmer particle that shifts so many different colors. You have purples, blues, golds, greens, aquas. I don't think even half of those colors are going to be coming across on camera, but look at that glow. There, I think you can see some of that orange pop up. Very, very pretty. It is one of the sheerer polishes. This is actually it in 3 coats, and it's still pretty sheer. But look how beautiful and ethereal that is. Very icy as well. I think this one would be a perfect winter polish. I really like how it looks on the nails. This pops really nicely against the skin, and all of the different shifts in here I think are going to look really beautiful out in the sunshine. So that gift with purchase was A Proper Jabroni, and I did, like I said at the beginning, end up getting 2 of them. So this one I haven't even unwrapped from its little bubble wrap burrito because, like I said, it is the same polish. I like that polish, but I don't need 2 of them. Alright, that wraps up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below if you bought any from this latest release and how your shopping list is wrapping up for this upcoming November release, this last official release. As far as I have heard, I believe she is still doing December polish pickup and possibly HHC as well, but other than that, the launches through the website itself will be over after November, so it will definitely be the end of an era. Bee's Knees Lacquer was one of the handful of polishes that I discovered right at the beginning of my indie nail polish journey back in 2017-2018, and I will definitely miss them. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me and looking at some beautiful polish. If you're new, remember to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.